Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox. That's Ben Olson. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We've got an email here from Anonymous.
Hello, Ben and/or Nathan. I hope you're doing well. I've recently been scoring a 174, 175, 177 on my 3 recent practice tests. Congrats. The sections I take during the week also reflect those scores, scoring -0 in games, -2 or 3 in logical reasoning, and -2 or 4 in reading comp. However, my last practice test, I scored a 167. And I've noticed my RC, my reading comp score, got worse, -9. I didn't let it bring me down too much and decided that it was probably just a harder section for me. A few days later, I took an RC section and got a -7. Now I'm starting to get really worried because I thought I had my goal score of a mid 170 in the bag and that I was able to score that on the June test, which is my last test out of 3. Have you seen this in other students where they are starting to score worse on a certain section? What should I do? Thank you, and sorry for the typos. I was crying over my score. LOL.
I think they're saying it's my last test out of 3 because they don't want to take the test without games.
Or
if
they
they're
still
-0 on games.
think the cycle is a thing?
Yeah, I mean, you are allowed to take it up to 5 times, and we have seen people take it 6 times or 7 times after an appeal. So there's no reason why, your third test needs to be your last one. I do get it that the June test is your last opportunity for games and games is your best section. And you're worried that, an additional section of LR isn't going to be as good for your score as the games that you're already perfect on. I would push back on that a little bit though and say you're pretty damn good at LR and you can probably continue to get better at LR. And, there are more questions on LR. So maybe you end up scoring 24 points on LR, which is better than the 23 that you were getting on games. What do you think about this recline? So, I would also point out that if you are like, nope, I'm not, I'm only taking it in June and that's it, you're just creating more pressure for yourself on the June exam. Like, it's possible that your recent decline, if it even is a real decline rather than just a couple data points, it's possible, though, that decline, if it's real, is being caused by anxiety. And you're probably giving yourself anxiety by deciding that the June test is your last test. I think you should probably register for August, is what I'm saying.
100%. And the next one after that, which I think is September, maybe October.
Yeah, I would just keep an eye on the August registration deadline and plan on registering for it when the time comes. And then plan on also taking September or October or whatever the next test is, if necessary. But, if you look at June as, okay, this is attempt 3 out of 5, instead of this is my only remaining attempt, hopefully you'll be a lot less nervous going into this last test. I mean, the truth is, or going into this next test, rather. The truth is, if we just adjust your range here, you have scored on your last 4 tests, you have scored between 167 and 177. That's a great range. On your last 4 tests, you've scored perfect on games, -2 or 3 on LR, and anywhere between 2 and 7 on reading comp. Reading comp is obviously your worst section. You should do more work in reading comp, figure out why you're dropping those points, try to improve your skills in reading comp. But your range is still good. And so the fact that it was the most recent one where you did poorly, I don't really care because those are just 4 trials, 4 independent trials within your range. If if that one had come first, you would feel great. But the fact that that one came last makes you feel shitty. You're giving too much credit to the most recent data point instead of just looking at your overall range and realizing that you're in a good place for June.
And reading comp was already your weakest section, right? You had
Right.
-2 to -4, so -7,
Right.
-9. Yeah, that sucks, but it's highly unlikely that the -2 to -4 was a situation where everything that you did get correct was 100% just in the bag. you probably got lucky on a few of those points as well. So,
Oh, for sure you did. Oh no,
yeah.
if you miss 2 to 4 on average, like, or if that's your range that you're missing 2 to 4 questions, then I would say that there's another 2 to 4 that you're getting right, but you don't really understand why.
And they just got manifest in these recent tests. So you need to buckle down on reading comp, maybe more than you have in the past. I mean, you should have because it was your weakest section before, but you have a full month. You have August, you have September or October. There's a lot of room here to really nail it. And the reason I think you absolutely have to think about September and October is the fact that you're getting a 174, 175, 177. If you go take this test and in June you get a 172, you're going to be glad that you're in the 170s. But if you take it in August and you get a 175, look, you still have a 177 in your past.
Yeah.
I would take it again.
Yeah.
And you're going to do even better between now and then. So I don't know, just lots of reasons to keep taking and then bring this score way up.
And don't underestimate how much stress you're putting on yourself by insisting that June is your last test out of
Yep.
3.
Yep.
It shouldn't be. It should be your 3rd test out of 5. And you don't have to take number 4 and number 5 if you crush number 3, but you should look at this as number 3 out of 5, not number 3 out of 3.
Totally.
Because it's just you're gonna have a anxiety bomb if you do it the way you're currently doing it.
Great.
Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.